The spring's been really good. It's been a lot of fun. I feel like every day, everybody in the entire room just growing, understand the offense a little bit more. So I feel like the more we're out here getting after it, the better we're going to get. It's really exciting.
What's the biggest challenge in understanding this offense and all that it's with?
I wouldn't really say there's too much of a challenge because the way Coach Longo really, his idea behind things, he wants everybody to play really fast and not think about things, not be robots. He wants us to go out there and be athletes. So I think I wouldn't say there's that much of a challenge, but just more like understanding what you got to do and understanding the route you have. But once you're out there and you play free, it's really a lot of fun.
That recruiting weekend when you and your teammate in Cincinnati and CJ came in, we're talking to Coach Brown about it. What was that like? Did you guys talk about what it would be like to come here together? Did you leave it independent decisions? How'd that work out?
I feel like me and Quincy, we were a little bit more on the same page just because we had already had that relationship with Coach Brown. So we knew what Coach Brown was about. We knew what Coach Fick was about, Coach Brady. So we had a lot of more familiar faces here. And then I met CJ on my office. He was really cool. His family's a great family. And we tossed around, joked about it, like we saw this team out. You never know what could happen. So it was a good visit that weekend.
Did he ask you questions about what you knew already about the guys from Cincinnati? Since you guys had played for those
right.
guys?
Yeah. CJ was he asked me about Coach Brown. I told him what he was. Like Coach Brown's a really good coach. He's gonna develop you. He's gonna teach you the right things. And like in the last 2 years, Coach Brown's sent three guys. Two guys gonna get drafted this year. Had Alec Pierce get drafted last year. So Coach Brown, he's got a really good track record. Same with Coach Fick.
For you, we've seen you make plays this spring and getting reps with the first team. Just how do you think you've adapted so well to this new offensive scheme, and what have you done to put yourself in that position to make plays?
I think probably the biggest thing would just be being in the playbook, studying the playbook. And then, like I said, the more you're out here, the more you're running through things, the more easier it's going to get for you, the more comfortable you're going to get with it. And I think that's been a big part of why I've been successful this spring. I've just been able to get out there, get the reps, and I'm more comfortable with everything now. So I feel like that's why I've been able to make a lot of plays.
What's it been like acclimating to Madison, not just from a football standpoint, but from a life standpoint too?
It's been a pretty smooth transition for me. At Cincinnati, I had a close group of friends that I was always around, so that was probably my biggest thing. Just aside from my teammates, I was unfamiliar with all the teammates, so I had to find my group of guys that I'll always be around when I'm not at practice or in the locker room. So once I found that group within the team, I felt like a lot more comfortable out here.
How big was Coach Brown and that decision for you to come here?
Coach Brown was probably I want to say he might have been the number one reason I came here, because honestly, in college football, you don't find those type of relationships every day. Coach Brown has always been a person that's been honest with me ever since I was a sophomore in high school. He's told me what it was and told me what it wasn't. He's kept it 100 with me throughout our whole relationship. So that was probably the biggest reason for me to come here.
How would you
I know Saturday is just a practice to you guys, but there will be fans in the stands. It's kind of a big deal for them.
Right.
Does it feel a little different for you than a normal practice, do you think? Are you looking forward to it more than a normal one?
I'm probably looking forward to it more than a normal practice just because my mom and dad are going to be here. The family's coming up. I haven't seen them for a while. But I'm going to look at it like it is a practice. But I'm sure once I see the fans out there, my emotions will get going a little bit more than they usually are on a Tuesday or Thursday. But I'm excited for it. It'll be good.
I know you guys are locked into what you're doing, but do you sense the excitement from the fan base?
Oh, yeah. For sure. The guys on the side in the locker room are excited about it. You can see everybody on social media is excited about it. So I feel like the season's going to be a lot of fun.
How would you describe Mike Brown as a wide receivers coach?
As a wide receiver coach, I would describe him as that Coach Brown is everything you're looking for in a receiver coach. 'Cause for me, he's been where I want to be. He's played in the NFL. He's played against the best DBs in the NFL. He's developed receivers that were right here into up here at the highest level, like guys like Alec Pierce, Trey Tucker, Tyler Scott, the guys I played with at Cincinnati. I saw where they were and what Coach Brown has did for him. So that's probably the best thing about Coach Brown.
For you too, we've seen you on the field make plays within the slot, but what do you think you can bring to this offense this season?
I feel like my big versatility, not even just on the offense, because on the offense I can line up in the slot, I can line up maybe in the backfield, putting me in motion. But even on special teams, I can return kicks, punts, I'll go truck down some punts at gunner. I'm really versatile, so I feel like that's my biggest contribution for this team.
You obviously missed some time last year with an injury.
Yeah.
What was that? And do you feel like you're maybe starting to kind of pick up where you were before that?
Yeah, so last year I actually tore my MCL in the second game of the year. It was tough for me because I was actually playing really good up until that point. So that kind of was a little bump in the road. So I was out for a few weeks, but got back healthy and I was practicing and playing the rest of the season. So I feel like I'm kind of picking up right where I left off. Right where I left off.
What's it been like building chemistry with all these new quarterbacks that you're catching passes from?
It's been a lot of fun, honestly, because the whole entire quarterback room is so talented and everybody's competitive. Not even just in the quarterback room, but it's been really good working with everybody, getting to know everybody, not even just on the field but off the field as well. It's been a good group to work with.
Let's say you've gone up against one defensive back in particular in the slot, Jason Maitrey. I know another transfer.
Yeah.
I know maybe Saturday. Maybe you guys got, or was it one of the weekdays practices?
Yeah.
You guys got kind of into it, but how would you describe him as a defensive back, and just how does he complicate things for you or make it tough for you as a receiver?
Yeah, Jace he's a great competitor. Me and him, we're gonna compete every day, no matter what it is. It doesn't have to be a one-on-one drill, it can be in a team drill. We're gonna compete at whatever it is we do. That's just who we are. But it's been really good to work against him, just because he's a little bit older than me. He might know a little bit more things than I might know. But I feel like we're both teaching each other new stuff every day as we go against each other. So I feel like it's been really good to work with him.
Is there a little bit of trash talk back and forth when you guys get on near the line at each other, or is it more just go off and?
I feel like Jace might do a little bit more of the talking than I do, but it's all competition. We're gonna compete our tails off out here, but once we get off the field, it's all up between us.
What stood out to you about what C.J. Williams has been able to do here during various portions of practice through this?
CJ, he's an ultimate competitor. He competes at literally everything, even in the weight room. We're in the same psychology class. He's taking the best notes in the class, so it's been really fun to work with him, and I'm excited for him. He's really good. He's got great hands. He's a great competitor, and I'm excited for what he can do for the team.
What have you been able to do think, well, to put yourself in position to maybe be the top slot guy?
I feel like I just been working my tail off, working with the playbook, trying to understand what I have to do, where I need to be on certain concepts, certain routes, and then as well as just trying to help other guys out as well. Not even just the slots, but helping like the quarterbacks understand what I'm seeing, why I did this, or what I need to do for them to give me the ball. That sort of thing. Just kind of understanding everything as a whole, not just the slot position.
How would you just describe that competition with Skyler in the slot, going against a guy that did a lot of good things for this team also?
Right, Skyler, me and Skyler are cool guys. We're both cool. We know the competition is only going to make us better, and we're not the only guys in the room competing. Everybody in the room is competing. The guys on the right, guys on the left, inside, outside, and ultimately it's going to make everybody better. So there's no animosity between anybody in the room, between any of the competitions, but it's fun. Skyler's a really good player.
I would say with that, do you all feel that both you and Skyler are kind of like the 1-2 punch at that slot spot, where you guys could be interchangeable in terms of what you can do at the slot?
I'm not sure where Coach Brown is on his rotations right now or what he's thinking, but I feel like if you can get me and Skyler on the field at the same time, or me and whatever slot on the field at the same time, I feel like that's going to give defenses a lot of trouble. So that'd be fun to see if that works out.
Coach Brown has talked about, and he said this even before spring ball started, he'd like to have 6 receivers at least that you can play. It looks like you've got that, maybe more. Have you been a part of a wide receiver core this deep? And what do you think of how much talent there appears to be?
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the things that really people don't understand about Wisconsin, is because we have so much. Like, the receivers are really good. Even before I got here, everybody's telling me like the guys are talented. They just maybe haven't had the opportunities at other schools, but yeah, I feel like the receivers we have, if we go 6 deep, 7 deep, 8 deep, however many it is, it's going to be good, because we're at practice, you got to see how fast we move. So guys are going to need breathers. Guys are going to have to rotate. So I feel like if you got depth in that room, it's going to help us out a lot.
You mentioned
obviously
the
still
ability to return kicks and punts and that kind of contribute on special teams. Is that something you did in high school? I don't think you did it in Cincinnati.
I returned punts a little bit at Cincinnati until I got hurt, and then high school, yeah, I was doing almost everything. I played a little bit of corner in high school, so I'm gonna do anything I can to help this team out. I'm not opposed to doing anything for the team.
How's
still
your
pretty new
transition
to-
been to Wisconsin, and why Wisconsin?
My transition to Wisconsin has been very smooth. Like I said, for me, it was kind of easy coming here just because there were so many familiar faces. I got Coach Brown here, Coach Fix here. The strength staff's the same as that it was at Cincy. So it's been a smooth transition. And then I said Coach Brown's probably my biggest reason to come in, just because I have the utmost respect for him, and I've seen what he's able to do with receivers and develop them, and he's been where I want to be, and that's my ultimate goal. So I feel like coming here with Coach Brown was a great decision for me.
Just how different is this offense that you're in now with Coach Longo than the one you were in at Cincinnati?
I wouldn't say there's definitely similarities, but I feel like the biggest difference is just how fast-paced everything is. Everything we do here, not even just an offense, everything, the practice is just a lot, very up-paced.
Got it.
Yep.
Thanks, Will.
Sweet. Thank you.
I'm Jake from the State Journal. We talked on